Really quick video in the studio, my guys and girls. Um, well, people always say find yourself, or you need to go in a dark place and really think about, who you are. Nobody really tells you how to navigate that. And I'm just thinking while I'm sewing, and like, I had this long period of time where, well, you don't know, but I was injured, and I had tore both my hips, the labrums, completely tore my hips. So I was bed rest for a long, long time, roughly about a year and a half, just laying down, waiting for it to heal, and it didn't heal. Eventually, I got back up and just played football through it. But during this time, a year and a half, when I'm bed rest, all these emotions that in thoughts and fire that I had pushed back to the back of my brain that I didn't deal with, they all came back. And during this year and a half, I cycled through every single thing that I pushed back. And nobody ever tells you how to navigate, or what to navigate, or what to look for when you're in the dark place finding yourself. You have to let all those feelings come. You have to let them come day after day after day, and you have to fight it. And fight it meaning by not self-indulging and numbing the pain and just letting it sit there and be there. I was forced to sit there and be there with those thoughts. So it was kind of like, a blessing and a curse type deal. But after I got through all these thoughts, I got back to where I started. When I started really putting these thoughts to the back of my mind and just forgetting about them, or when I started self-medicating, and I got back to after all these thoughts, all these thoughts went all the way back to when I started, and it just came to me like, this is what happened, and I started to remember things. Like, I started to get my memory back, and I started to remember the certain things that were good before and were led up to me really falling off the cliff, if that makes sense. So when you're in the dark place, you have to just let those thoughts come and come and come, because you're gonna go back years, or however long you've been putting this bad stuff, or this fears of what you want to face. You get to the bottom of the pit, and it's at the bottom of the pit where you remember and you really find yourself. You remember, like, oh, I like this. Oh, me and mom used to do this. Me and my brother used to do this. Me and my best friends used to do this, and I was happy doing this. And you start to remember things that were golden for you. And it's just at this point is where for me, it's where I found my true purpose. It's what I found, that I loved. And I had started playing football. I had a decision in fourth grade. It was either go to after school. We had to pick, what you want to do. It was either me go to the band or go to football. I couldn't find the band room, so I just went to the gym. And it was at this moment that I really, my life changed forever. And the only reason why I got to this is because I was in pain during it. I had went through a passing, so I just was kind of in turmoil already. So after thinking about this, I'm like, dang, I've been a creator my whole life. I've always been kind of artsy. And I just think I chose football, and football led me down this path where I eventually tore my hips. It's it made me think, what if I didn't take this other path? What if I took this other path? And fast forward, now I'm on the other path. Now I'm creating, I'm an artist, and I just didn't know I had all this creative ability. I don't regret the path I took, but it's I was in so much when I was young, so much pain, so much, negative influence that, I forgot that I was also a creator at one point, that I had this love for music and art. And it's just, it took me back to dang, I need to get back into this. and I found my purpose. You know, I found my true love. You know, all of this quick little excerpt, y'all. When you're in the dark place, let it come and be one with the fire. At the end of the fire, when the flames die out, you will be left with your one true self. I love y'all, man. Peace.